They are called untouchables, or Dalits, millions of Indian men, women and children born into a caste system that views them as impure, less than human. And despite laws to protect them, Dalits face daily discrimination. In fact, they are also the single largest victims of human trafficking in the world. Now, one Southern California church is on a mission to help free the Dalits of India through education, a biblical message of hope, and a movie about their plight. Walk the streets of any Indian village, town or city, and you'll see them.
They are assigned all the menial, dirty jobs in India, like cleaning the toilets, sweeping the roads, burying the dead animals.
More than 25% of India's 1 billion plus people are Dalits. Millions of men, women and children trapped in a system that has for thousands of years kept them on the margins of society.
Talk to a Dalit and you sense, you feel, you can see hopelessness in their eyes. They are deemed worthless by society.
In fact, some are calling Dalits today the largest oppressed group in the world. You see, they live in a kind of religious-based apartheid-style state, constantly in fear of upper caste Hindus who want to keep them suppressed. Every single day, somewhere in India, a Dalit is humiliated, assaulted, raped, beaten and killed. Considered outcasts, not even worthy to be in the caste system, the vast majority of them are poor, illiterate and survive on less than $2 a day. Kumar Swami, a Dalit himself, says it's as if you are born with a stamp on your forehead and you can never get rid of it.
The moment you are born as a Dalit, you are viewed as an untouchable, subhuman, and you will be constantly degraded and you are constantly dehumanized. You will not be seen as a human being.
There are anywhere between 250 and 300 million Dalits today in India. The majority of those being trafficked also happen to be from the Dalit community.
And being a Dalit woman is all the more difficult because she is the Dalit of the Dalits.
Jivalin Kumar runs a Christian center that ministers to women caught in human trafficking. She says Dalits are today's single largest victims of human trafficking in the world.
That's the irony of the whole thing. They're called the untouchables, but only when it comes to sex, people overlook, and they are the ones that are trafficked because they are the most vulnerable, they are the most weakest.
It was into this dark side of Indian society that Matthew Cork stepped in and came face to face with the plight of India's Dalits.
I think God brought me to India to break me.
Cork is lead pastor of Friends Church in Yorba Linda, California. In 2007, on his first trip to India, he saw up close the challenges millions of Dalits endure.
I think when I saw that they were considered untouchables, considered less than an animal, I looked at myself, I looked at my own children, and I said, how could anyone ever be treated that way?
By the way, Dalit is a Sanskrit word meaning broken. Pastor Cork says he saw the brokenness and it changed his life forever.
Now as a pastor, I had to read the scriptures when it said, speak up for those who have no voice, to bring justice where there is injustice. I had seen it firsthand, and now I had to do something about it.
He returned to the United States broken by Dalit sufferings, yet emboldened by a call from God to try to help change their destiny. He spent the next 2 years trimming the church's missions outreach and other ministries to focus primarily on India.
God led on our heart to say, let's focus on one group of people and let's make a big impact. And we believe that our job is to be the catalyst church in the West to free the Dalits in our generation. And so with that, we have to be focused and we have to do what God called us to do.
His main partner in India is this man, Dr. Joseph D'Souza.
A temple prostitute.
For some 30 years, Dr. D'Souza has worked on behalf of the marginalized and oppressed in India.
Today, around the world, there are more slaves than even during the time of Wilberforce. Modern slavery is a huge problem. India is the epicenter of this problem.
The two agreed to join forces to help make a difference.
And so there was a kinship of spirit, a common vision, a common burden. And as a national, it was very important for me to show to the Dalits that the global church cared.
Dr. D'Souza told Pastor Cork that education was the key to ending modern-day slavery in India. In 2002, D'Souza started Dalit Freedom Network with the goal of building 1,000 schools for Dalit children. Pastor Cork wanted to build schools after seeing how access to education can change the life of a Dalit.
Well, education is the key to freedom. Because you see, if you can educate them and they can begin to understand why they might be in poverty, if they begin to understand their plight, if they begin to see that they are created in the image of God and there is opportunity, and an English education brings them that opportunity that they would have never been afforded to them, then out of an education, they'll be able to afford a home. They'll be able to afford a meal.
The first Good Shepherd School opened in 1998. Today, there are 107 schools across India, 42 funded by Friends Church. And the children attending these schools get more than just an English education.
Amen. Almost every day we talk to them about Jesus. We teach them Christian songs, teach them Bible verses. We want the kids to know who Jesus Christ is and give them an opportunity to experience the love of God.
Mangama Marie doesn't mind. You see, she has 2 kids attending Good Shepherd, and even though she's from a Hindu background, she says she wants her kids to experience a life she could only dream of having as a child.
The fact my kids can go to school, learn English, learn how to read and write is a miracle. And I like it when my kids come home singing Christian songs.
Teachers here believe the schools are the best antidote to preventing the future trafficking of Dalit children.
If this school wasn't here today, these children would be out on the streets as rag pickers, housemaids, working in brothels, or worse yet, trafficked as sex slaves.
High five, buddy. Here we go. The excitement and the opportunity to get an education for so many of these young Dalit children. They can't afford to go to school. Yes, sir. And so Good Shepherd provides them, and in essence doesn't charge parents a lot of money. It's a fraction. And so these kids can go to school.
I don't have much money, but the cost to go here is very low. So that's why I bring my child to this school. It also means I have little money left over to buy food for my family.
And Cork isn't satisfied with just building 42 schools.
So when I said, when I came the first time, I'm all in, meant that I would do whatever it takes to raise enough money, to build enough schools, to change enough lives here in India.
Friends Church has committed $20 million to build 200 schools across India.
You just have to walk through this slum in Mumbai, considered one of the largest in all of Southeast Asia, to begin to understand the magnitude of challenges facing the Dalits of India. Dozens of kids who are stopped by to take a look at our filming, curious. They're supposed to be in school, getting an education, but they don't have the opportunity to do so. You see, for the folks at Friends Church, these challenges are not what overwhelm them, because for them, at the end of the day, it is about reaching one Dalit family at a time.
And we believed that if we could begin to be a part of this and build 200 schools, and if they had 500 kids in each school, you just continue to do the numbers and the math, and it was just exponential what God was going to do through one changed life. And we saw it firsthand. And I get to that school and I see one life and I say, it's worth it every time if it was just that one.
In addition to providing education, the Dalit Freedom Network Friends Church Partnership is allowing thousands of Dalits to receive micro-enterprise loans. One such loan helped Angama Karakula start her basket weaving business.
Because of this loan, I was able to buy the materials for making the basket, then sell it in the market and earn an income.
Karakula told us that making money was empowering. She said it gave her dignity. She was proud that she could help support her family, provide education money for her children, and find personal freedom. For others, like 17-year-old Roja Shri, the partnership is giving her a marketable skill. At this sewing center outside Bangalore, dozens of women are learning an income-generating trade that will also allow them to stand on their own.
Even though I'm a Dalit girl, by getting this training, I'm able to make clothes and sell them in the village and earn my livelihood.
Perhaps one of the greatest untold stories happening in India today is the Christian awakening among Dalits. Tens of thousands of men, women, and young people leaving the caste system and embracing the gospel message.
We are seeing people turn to Christ like we have never before. It's unbelievable.
Earlier this year, CBN News witnessed this Dalit baptism.
This truly is the scene that is happening today across India. The so-called untouchables, the outcasts of society, a massive revival that's taking place, and it's changing the shape and the potential future of India.
Getting dunked in the pool were 70-year-old Manu and 17-year-old Ruth.
I had never heard about Jesus until a Christian pastor told me about him. If I die today or next week, I have the assurance of eternity. I am a very happy person. My sins have been forgiven.
In almost every village or slum that has a Good Shepherd school, a church is springing up as children and their parents accept Jesus Christ.
This is a broken country which we are trying to bring together. Caste has broken this country. What we are about is making India great and making every Indian great, and especially every Dalit great.
To help raise more awareness and stir people to greater action, Friends Church has made a movie about the Dalits of India. The film is called Not Today. It's a story about a rich young American from Orange County, California.
Oh, are you kidding me? We're going to India.
Who goes partying halfway around the world with friends.
India. Where the ladies at? Let's get some action tonight.
Only to get exposed to the seedy world of human trafficking.
You're telling me that you sold your daughter?
Best for Anika.
I'm not leaving until I see this is what you're saying is.
He winds up risking his life to help a Dalit father search for his little daughter he sold to human traffickers.
It's overwhelming, isn't it?
It's amazing to think that we actually filmed here.
Brent Martz is Creative Ministries pastor at Friends Church and producer of Not Today.
When people watch Not Today, they'll see the story of the Dalits in India. They'll see the story of human slavery and human trafficking, and they'll be drawn into it. Their lives will be compelled to get involved because they've felt it. Maybe they finally felt what it's like to be a little girl who's taken from her father or even sold by her father.
Pastor Cork says the movie is also a story of God's redemptive love for humanity.
The central message of Not Today is that every child matters and that there is hope through Jesus Christ in each and every life that is born and placed on this earth, that all of us are created in the image of God. And as we go to free this one child who is caught in the world of slavery and trafficking, we believe that in changing one child, we can then begin to change the world.
Not Today opens in theaters next April. Cork says profits from the film will fund the 200 Dalit schools.
I mean, this movie is so huge for us because the Dalits have been asking us for 10 years, we need a movie about us. And here is a faith-based movie that we've been able to produce.
Back in Yorba Linda, California, Friends Church is celebrating its 100th anniversary this month. Former President Richard Nixon's family helped start the congregation as a Quaker church a century ago. He and his grandparents used to attend. Today, it's a thriving non-denominational evangelical church.
When I think about the 100-year anniversary of Friends Church, I go back to where it all started. As the roots of this denomination began with the Quakers and a man by the name of William Wilberforce, who in the 1800s fought for the freedom of all slaves. Fast forward to 2012, and it is the call of Friends Church today to go halfway around the world for some 250 million Dalits that are in a form of slavery, and to bring them education and freedom through building schools and transforming their lives by the power of Jesus Christ.
Cork admits breaking the caste system will take lots of prayer, but Friends Church and Dalit Freedom Network are in it for the long haul, determined to be the catalyst that helps free India's Dalits.
And we're creating an eternal legacy where I know when I get to heaven, there's going to be thousands of Dalits there that are going to look me in the eye and they're going to say thank you to our church, to our people, for making a difference in their life.
George Thomas, CBN News, Bangalore, India.